spent some time when I was much younger living abroad in a city where Russian was the main language. A family who'd been to visit several times made the decision to come and join our little expat team. It was mum, dad and 2 of their 4 children. They threw themselves into learning the language with the help of a local lady who spoke excellent English. After about a month, this family decided they had enough words to be able to go and visit the local market to buy some provisions. The market was much cheaper and probably better quality than the supermarkets they'd been using, but with one big downside. You had to be able to ask for things at the market rather than just pick things off the shelf. One of the things they needed was chicken, and so their language helper told them the day before the big solo trip what the word for chicken was: slon. And off they went. They bought all they needed, but every time they went to the butcher where they could see the chicken, the vendor just shook their heads and wouldn't sell my friends what they wanted. Slon, they'd faithfully repeat at each stall, pointing at what was clearly chicken. Nyet, would come the reply. Eventually, they gave up and they went home. It turned out the language helper had played a trick on them, and she'd meant to correct them before they went to the market, but forgot. Slon means elephant. Learning the language of the place that you inhabit means that you can join in the community. You can build relationships, you can celebrate and mourn, you can work and learn and contribute, you can look after yourself and others, you can buy chicken. If you don't speak the language, you end up at best a bystander eating elephants. Learning a language takes perseverance. In Acts 2, whilst the disciples didn't have to persevere at learning the languages they were able to speak, they had persevered in staying close to Jesus through his teachings, trial and crucifixion, and after the resurrection had followed his instructions in Acts 1 verse 4 to stay in Jerusalem, and the reward was the Holy Spirit and specifically the languages of the Spirit. The purpose of this was to build a community, a church, from every nation, tribe and tongue. We don't have to go and learn a foreign language necessarily to do that, but by staying close to God and obedient to his calling, just think of the languages or gifts that he's already given us to be able to reach every nation, tribe and tongue. That same Spirit, which moves so powerfully in Acts 2, is the one we have with us today, still giving us the gifts to speak his words in order to build his church in our communities.